This is part 1 of a 7-part blasphemous series where I critically analyze the 7 deadly sins. Today's sin is pride. Now, I don't really believe in sin, because sin means you're going against the will of some god. I believe there are behaviors that I would classify as wrong and that most people would classify as wrong. So I'm going to do this in the order of least wrong to most wrong. So today's sin is pride, and not only do I think it's wrong, not only do I think it's not wrong to have pride, I think it's wrong to not have pride. Lack of pride is just what would be useful for the Catholic Church during the Middle Ages when they had control over Europe. An individual with pride thinks for themselves. An individual with pride makes decisions in their own life, controls their own destiny, asks for help only in the most dire of consequences. Some of them don't even ever ask for help. Now, of course, I do ask for help. I'm not that prideful. But it's definitely a sin, or not a sin, but it's definitely very wrong not to have pride. Lack of pride in civilization, in the average citizen, is why we have the problems that we have today. It's why everybody no longer questions the government and just accepts the stupid bullshit dichotomy between Democrats and Republicans. Two parties that purport to be different, but when you actually analyze what they do, not what they say they're going to do, they're the same freaking party. There's no real difference between them, and anybody with pride would be able to see that. Advertisements today try to crush our pride, try to crush our dignity. To me, pride is dignity. Yes, all of these 7 deadly sins can be taken to excess, but I think it's very telling that they think having pride at all is sinful. Why would they think that? Because they want you to submit to them. All authorities, all powerful authorities, do not like their citizens having a whole lot of pride. They don't like their citizens having a whole lot of individuality. And if you have pride in yourself, then you're going to have individuality. But also, if you have pride in yourself, you're going to be a better person. You're going to do things because you think they're the right things to do, not because somebody told you they're the right things to do. You're going to do things that you want to do. You're going to think how you want to think, and one of the good consequences for society as a whole is the work that you do is going to be so much better. You're going to put so much more into work that you have pride for. If you care for your job and truly have pride for your job, you're going to do a whole lot better you're going to do a whole lot more quality work than you will do if you don't have any pride in yourself and you see yourself as some cog in a grand machine. So, to me, it's wrong not to have pride. Now, I think, again, it's quite obvious why the Catholic Church doesn't think you should have pride. First of all, it goes against the tenets of the religion, because you're supposed to admit that there's something wrong with you, that you're deeply flawed inherently, and that you're never worthy of God, and then you're supposed to ask for forgiveness for being born unworthy. Kind of seems like the snake oil salesman coming up to you and inventing a condition and then telling you he has the cure. But I'm not really going to get into the religion itself, I'm just getting into the sins now. So, pride. Not even close to wrong. Of course you can take pride too far, but that doesn't happen that often. Really, I don't see too many examples of people taking pride too far. I see many, many more examples of people that don't have any pride, and trust me, it shows. The anti-intellectualism in this country, the inability of people to question their governments, the inability of people to care about the quality of their work anymore, trust me. And yes, I know it's partially the fault of corporations and the government because they don't want people to have independent thought, because independently thinking people won't go to a store and say, do I really want to buy this shit, or do I just think I want to buy something? They don't want that. They want you to just buy whatever they tell you to buy simply because they told you. I don't think it's some massive conspiracy. I think it's just every major corporation has that same interest, and so does the government, keeping people relatively stupid and relatively lacking in any dignity or self-respect. So, yeah, you can blame the corporations and the government and religion, but you can also blame the people. You still have a choice. I have pride. I've seen several other people on YouTube that have pride. I've met other people in my life that have pride. And they were raised looking at the same crappy commercials and listening to the same bullshit political ads that everybody else was. They probably were raised with a religion that told them that there was something wrong with them. They've just managed to break out of the cycle, and so can you. Please, America, nay, please, everyone in the world, get your dignity and get your pride back. If you have no pride, if you have no dignity, then you have nothing.